Chada, and I'm very grateful to Vijay for inviting me here to talk on this topic. And I'm a certified facilitator. I've been talking on business and money and using the tools of access. So we're going to be using the tools of access consciousness today. And would anybody like to start with a question? So we know where to go with that, and then I can tell you what generation and creation is. So, would anyone, Vijay, like to start with a question, or should I just start talking? What would you guys like?
Please start talking.
Oh, okay,
Shaushad
cool.
here.
Hi, Shimshad. Cool. Okay. So, interestingly, let me just start with a little backdrop very quickly. I don't want to take it too long, but interestingly, as I was growing up, um, although my father was a self-made businessman, there was never any conversation about business and money in my household. Like there wasn't really a conversation on how do you create money, what can we do, how can we bring in more, what are the revenue streams, and so I grew up believing that, you know what, like business is not for me and I'm supposed to be a career person. Yeah, you have to go into a professional field. And no, business people aren't the kind of people I want to interact with, even so that my father was a businessman. Somehow I grew up with that notion, but slowly, like I became an architect. I'm a professional architect. I'm a trained architect. I've been working as an architect. I still do. But over the last 4 5 years, when like I got into Access about 6 years ago, probably 5.5 or something, and I don't remember, 2013 plus, and started listening to people talk about business and money, and started recognizing where I am not bad really with business and money. Like, hey, I think I'm not bad with money because I would put out stuff and people would want to buy it, and I would make money, and it was fun. So slowly over a period of time, when I started using the tools of access, I started realizing that business and money can be fun. It doesn't have to be serious. It doesn't have to have a judgment attached to it. It doesn't have to be, hey, I can do it or not do it. Because even if you're in a job, you are in business. Even if you're in a relationship, you're in business. But that's a conversation for another day, because I believe you guys particularly want to talk about money and business, right? So I would invite you to start looking at, what does money mean to you really? What is money for you, and what is business for you? Because those are the places, like I was just telling you, where we start to have definitions and conclusions about what business is, what money is. Most of the times it's just not. Definitions and conclusions about how good you are with money or how not so good you are with money, how you suck with business, how you shouldn't be with business, what you can do, what you can't do. And mostly it's a judgment. Mostly it's what you can't do. We rarely look at what we can do. We mostly tend to look at what we can't do, where we are bad, where we suck. I can't do figures. I don't think I have marketing skills. Even if I create a product, how am I going to sell it? How am I going to get the clients? And these are the places, if you notice, these are the thoughts that go on in your head, which do not even allow you to take the first step to creating something. Am I correct? I know. Is that how you guys function? Is that you see how people function? Like I've had a lot of clients who come on business classes and money classes and say, you know what, I don't know how to, I have this product, but I don't know how to take it out to the market. I don't know where to get the clients. I don't know blah. I don't know blah. I can't do accounts. I can't do this. So there's a lot of I can't. Now, every time you go into I can't, you're telling the universe that it shouldn't send you clients, it shouldn't send you the money, because you can't. Because your energy is on judgment, your energy is on what we in this reality call negative, right? There is no positive and negative. It's just that the universe listens to energy, and when we go into definitions and conclusions about what we can't, we end up there. So if you guys have a pen and paper, or like just on your phones, or in your heads, what is money for you? What is business for you? And what judgments and conclusions do you have with regard to you, of you, with regard to business and money? And there's a slight difference. Why I'm talking about this is because the topic said creation and generation, right? Now there's a difference between creation and there's a difference in generation. What I'm talking to you about the things that I grew up with, and most of us have grown up with that, and I believe our parents also knew just that. Nobody talks about generating business. Very few people do, I think, but people at the top, like the people who are really generating money or who are successful in continuously generating money, like the continuous process of the money coming in. If not this, then what? Then what? Something else. Like if I've planted lemons and I mean, by mistake, or probably I planted oranges and they turned out to be lemons. I didn't realize because the trees look similar. Now you have two choices, right? You can either go into judgment of yourself that you can't differentiate between oranges and lemons, or you can say, okay, cool, now I have lemons. I was thinking of making an orange squash factory, creating that, but well, can I change it to a lemon squash factory, or can I make lemon marmalade, or can I do something else with the lemon pickle maybe? But for that, you have to rearrange everything. You have to be willing to do that rather go into judgment of the mistake you made. What if it's not a mistake? What if it's a blessing? So that's the difference between creation and generation. When we try to create something, we tend to go into this reality's points of views of, um, this is the way I have to do it, this is the right way to do it, if I don't know that, then I can't do it. We're not taught to ask a question. That's the creation part of it. So we have to operate from matter, energy, the time, kitna paisa lagega, kitna mujhe effort lagega, kitni energy jayegi. But when we are generating, it's like the energy of a generator. You know, when there's no electricity, you have a generator. It's producing electricity constantly. And that's the space we be when we go into generation of business and my money situation. Like, how do I change it? How do I increase it? Where do I get more clients? What else do I know? What else am I good at? What else can make me money? Notice the energy shifting rather than, oh my God, how am I going to do it? I can't do this. I don't know that. That is creation. That's the way the reality tells us. Girls can't do that. Boys are supposed to do that. Men, women, hierarchy, blah, blah. Right? But when we go to generation, all that we're doing is asking questions, being excited, getting the enthusiasm of, wow, now what else is possible? Okay, cool. This didn't show up the way I thought it would. No problem. Now what else can I do? Always a question, and then following the energy, because when you ask a question, an awareness shows up, right? For example, let's take the example of the lemon and orange thing farm, where I by mistake planted lemon trees instead of orange trees. Now get the energy of when it starts to bloom and you say, oh my God, these are lemons, now what do I do? So now you can go into judgment of, oh my God, the gardener couldn't tell me, oh my God, I spent so much money on it, now what am I going to do? I'm so stupid, this person, blah, blame, regret, anger, frustration. That's the way the reality functions. Or going to, oh my God, wow, now we have lemons. Now what do we do with that? Okay, what else can we do with that? Okay, cool. Maybe I can sell the farm and go and buy something else. Okay, maybe I can make more money with. See the difference, and that's the difference between creation and generation. So, which energy would you rather be? Would you buy into the points of views of this reality that tells you can't, you won't, or what's right and what's wrong, that you have to align and agree with, or resist and react to, go into all of the energy of anger, frustration, guilt, or constant joy, constant enthusiasm? Because enthusiasm is the energy that generates, joy is the energy that adds to the fuel of the generator, right? And when you go from question to question to question to question to question, then even if you don't not great at accounts, where you can ask, hey, who can I hire for this? And the universe will show you, if you're willing to follow the energy. If you're still not willing to go into the judgment of you, okay, cool, what else do I not know? And we're not asking this from the point of view of judging ourselves. We're looking at, hey, what can I do, what can I not do, what is fun for me, what is not fun for me? If I don't know how to do this, can I learn how to do it? Who can I go to learn to do this? Who can teach me accounts? Who can teach me gardening if I'm going to plant a farm? Who can teach me something else? Or if I don't want to learn it, can I hire someone else? Can I hire someone who's better than me at it? Do you get it? So that's the difference between creation and generation. And then there is no end to learning, guys. You can always go out and learn a new skill. You can always add to your life that energy of, what else can I add to my life? What else can I add to my business that allow it to grow? And there are a lot of questions that we can ask with money also. So this is the basic basis of creation and generation. And I have a question here. And if you guys, any of you have questions, are you following what I'm saying? Is it making sense to you? Where else would you like to go with this? What else would you like? So that, because I can go in like a lot of different directions with this. What are you specifically asking for? So Neelam says, I do have a point of view, I have a viewpoint about my business is not my cup of tea. Okay, cool. Any clearings for business creation? Absolutely. That's why I said, please write down all the points of views that you have about what does business mean to me? What is business for me? So, what is business for you? Look at all the things that come up. Is it fun? Is it difficult? Is it money? Is it time? What is it? And when you start writing down what is business for me and what is money for me, like if you really run for a piece of paper and pen, just quickly jot down whatever's coming up for you, or just tell me those two, three things that come up for you so we can clear it today. If you'd like
Shweta,
to
it
do
is
that.
becoming difficult.
It's
Like
difficult.
when
Okay,
I think
cool.
of yes, when I think of business, I get the energy. It is difficult.
All right, cool. So, what part of it is difficult for you?
Maybe convincing.
You mean selling your product?
Yeah, in a way, yes.
Okay, cool. So, interesting point of view. I have this point of view. That's a tool that Access says is amazing. So let's look at if whatever point of view now you guys have. Now, maybe there could be 2 points of view, 3 points of views. Now, when Neelam said difficult, you go to the next question. Okay, what part of it is difficult for you? Okay, maybe selling it, finding clients. Okay, cool. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. What do I know about that? Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. This is difficult. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view that I can't sell. Now, is it really true that you can't sell? Is it
Yes,
true?
energy
Do you
coming.
feel like,
Yes,
is it true that you can't sell? And with no point of view. Yes or no?
yes,
Okay, cool. Now, when you say yes, does it sound heavy to you or does it sound light to you? Like, does it feel heavy to you? Because heavy and light is another tool that tells us whether this point of view is really ours or not. Did we buy it from someone now because you want to clear it? So you really don't have to go into who you bought it from, but it might be fun to just ask, okay, who gave you that point of view? That is difficult. Who did you know that told you that business is difficult and you bought into it because somewhere you aligned and agreed with the point of view that business is difficult,
yeah.
right?
From the family,
So
maybe.
okay, cool. So everywhere you bought that point of view that business is difficult, everywhere you made it yours, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes, please.
Right, wrong, good, bad, what, online shows, boys and girls. Oh, I'm sorry. Vijay, you had said that question time was 8:30 to 8:45. I completely forgot about it because I function totally from the space of questions. I was like, okay, we have questions, just ask. I forgot about that. I'm so sorry. So the format of the call has gone for a toss, right?
Okay, no problem. You can ask the
Thank
questions
you.
also.
Okay,
Parallelly,
cool.
they can
Thank
unmute and ask the questions. Like,
Absolutely.
as
Thank you.
far as my point of view is concerned, ask the questions so that you can create new ideas, and these ideas will turn up into business, and this business will again, if it is continuing or sustaining, it will create a generation of joy or money in the long run.
Yeah, it's all mutually contributory. When you ask a question and something shows up and then you create it, and actually then something like this comes up that Neelam was saying, okay, cool, I don't know now how to sell it. Okay, cool. Now am I going into a judgment of myself and feeling hopeless and feel sensing despair? And that's the time when I go, okay, all the feelings here, pock and pod, all the distractor implants. Are you guys aware of what distractor implants are? So distractor
Yes,
implants. Yeah, so all the distractor implants, because those are anger, rage, fury, hate, blame, shame, regret, guilt, obsessive, compulsive points of views, all of that. So you say all the distractors, even like business is a distractor implant, by the way the reality does business, the way we make it our life living death reality, because when we go into the point of view of what business is, what we can't do, it just distracts us from creation. It'll take us into despair, it'll take us into hopelessness, it'll take us into all of the energies that we were talking about in the beginning of the call also. So you go, okay, all the distractor implants here, destroy and uncreate it all. Everywhere I bought the point of view, whatever point of view written as I can't do, or this won't work, or where do I get, which is coming from a space of despair or hopelessness or need. Okay, pock and pot all that, right? And then any time again, so okay, now once you've pocked and potted it, then you ask, okay, what other question can I ask here? Okay, so let's take the example of a Neelam. Are you still there? Now, if everywhere that you bought the point of view, whoever you bought it from, whether you remember it or not, this lifetime or any other lifetime, will you destroy and uncreate all?
yes, please.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, online shows, boys and beyonds. Now, what questions can you ask here with regards to clients? Okay, who do I go to? who can help me sell this, and help not from a point of view of need, but who knows how to do that. And maybe you can work out a deal with that person. Maybe you can ask them what they would like to receive for promoting your call, because there are people who are connectors, who are great at connecting with people. So do you know people who like your stuff? Do people come and compliment? Do you have a friend who tells you, wow, your stuff is so cool? Or you have a couple of clients, or even if you're just starting afresh, okay, just start asking questions. Where do I post this? Who do I talk to? Who do I call? And then look at, what am I not willing to be and do here? That's very important, because when we ask a question, if an energy comes up, okay, call so and so, call 10 people, and I say, no, I'm not comfortable calling people, I don't want to do this. Now that's the space where you're avoiding being an energy that might contribute to your business. Does that make sense? So all, now you can ask, okay, what am I avoiding being here? What am I avoiding doing here? You might be avoiding the energy of being too successful, or you might be avoiding the energy of being a failure. What is it for you? What are you avoiding being? That's the next question. Okay, what am I avoiding being here? And then look at that, talk about that, be interesting point of view with that. And then, okay, what next? Another great question I find has been very contributive to my business and me is like, what are the next two steps? And Dr. Dane here has given this question. He's done a YouTube video also on it. What are the next two steps?
Yeah,
Okay.
Shweta. Sheetal is asking a question. I'm unable to convince people to try Access.
Oh my God, you can't convince people to try Access. Don't try. And really don't try to convince them, because the more, see, convincing comes with a pushy energy.
More
Always.
than convincing, Shweta, it is like when we are not able to make other people understand what exactly it is.
Yeah. You tell me, have you understood what exactly it is?
Yeah. Yes.
Or is it way beyond that? Is it like something that when you got into, did you understand it entirely? Do you still understand it? Or is it just fun for you because it creates for you, it brings you joy, and you have fun doing it?
Yes, this is the reason.
Exactly, right? So what if, instead of trying to convince people, what if you were being the energy, like if you must have heard, inspire people to choose greater, rather invite them, seduce them, rather than try to convince them. So where all are you trying to convince people because you're aware it might make their life better, because you're aware it's fun for you, so they should enjoy it? Did you ask, are they willing to receive the change that Access is going to bring to them? Good
Probably not.
question. Yeah, so please ask that. Don't go don't go trying to give it to people who are not willing to receive it, because they're going to judge you for it. And invariably what happens when somebody projects an energy of judgment at us, we put up barriers, and we then stop our own success stories, we stop our own growth, because somebody else judged you and you didn't want to receive that judgment, so you put up your walls and barriers. So everywhere that you're trying to convince people to do it, to do anything, you can invite them to a greater possibility. You can tell them, like, share your stories. Talk to them about what changed for you, what changed for a client, what changed for a friend, what changed for your children. But I mean, like, I have been talking to people around me for like probably 5 years. Now people are asking me, what you're doing, what are you doing? I mean, your children are different, your relationship is different, you travel around the world, what are you doing, what is this? Even so, they go into a point of view, oh, it's expensive, oh, I don't understand it. Cool. No one judging them either. No worries, whenever you're ready, I'm here. Be that energy of invitation. What would that change? And please don't make Access the only source of your business. What other revenue streams can I have? How many of you have just one source of income? And is that a really great idea? Or would you rather have multiple business streams where, okay, cool, this one is not working for me the way I want to in this moment, then where else can the money come from? Because if you make something your bread and butter, then what happens is, if it doesn't start to give you the money that you're asking for in a month, because you obviously need to pay your rentals, you have your daily expenses, you have those expenses, right? But if you make one thing the source of your revenue, then you kind of burden that business with, hey, you have to give me money. And if you don't give me money, then something wrong. Then I'm wrong, you're wrong. You start judging your business, you start judging yourself, you become that needy energy. So what other questions to ask? What other revenue streams can I have? What else do I know? What else can create money for me? Where else can I go? Who else can I talk to? What else is possible here that I haven't considered, right? What is it that's fun for you that you never asked could make you money? What is that? And what if now's the time, particularly with so much going on, changing, what else can make you money, right? So there's another thing that I want to talk to you guys about, the energy of business. And is there any other question here, or can I just go and talk about your business creating for you? And that's also an energy of generation rather than creation. Cool. So I don't see any question here. Pooja says sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's struggle, sometimes it's stress. Cool. So, what are the fun times? What if you ask those fun times to multiply? And you know what? There's this beautiful concept. There's this book called Big Magic, which is amazing, which is about creation. It's not particularly about money and business, but I mean, it's got some amazing tools. And there's this tool it's a book by Elizabeth Gilbert, and she talks about another author. Mark somebody who talks about eating the shit sandwich. So have you heard about that? It's a wonderful concept. Is are you willing to eat the shit sandwich? Which means that anything that you create, okay, we see successful people and we think, oh, these guys have got it so cool, oh, the clients are flowing in, oh, everything's working fine. We don't see the struggle that has gone behind it. We don't see the hard work and the persistence that's gone behind it. We don't see so many times the fact that they weren't willing to give up, right? So Elizabeth Gilbert in this book talks about some other author quoting, "Are you willing to eat the shit sandwich?" Which means that anything that you create comes with its own shares of shit too. So you'll be successful, things will work, and those successful moments are going to happen, right? But it's not necessary that it's all going to happen the way you want it. It's all going to be like super successful right away. But that's what we aim and that's what we target for, right? That's what our target is. I'm sorry. But if you're willing to take all the unsuccessful moments with it, all the times when you're feeling hopeless and angry and depressed, and all the shit that comes with anything that you start as a business and create it, then you will be successful. Nothing can stop you, right? So the shit sandwiches, like there is the two things, the two sandwiches inside it is like, if you just Google the shit sandwich on Google, it'll show you. It says that it comes with its own share of shit, the successes. So if the two bread slices successes, there is shit too with it. So the question should not be how passionate you are about something, because that's what you're taught. Like when you're growing up and you're in your high school, and hey, what are you passionate about? What would you like to do? The question should be, are you really passionate about this thing so much that you're willing to eat the shit sandwich that comes with it? I mean, it's okay. Shit is going to come with anything that you create, right? But are you willing to eat that too? So everywhere you're not willing to acknowledge that there is a shit sandwich and you have to be willing to eat it, come what may, and you're still not going to give up because you love this thing so much. And it's so much fun for you that you're not willing to give it up just because the money is not as much as you think it is, just because it's you have to put in hard work, just because, like, you see people who have really created it, who've been successful, how much hard work has gone in it, how much of continuous, hey, what else, what else, what else, what else, what else. Like, if you read this book by this guy, Elon Musk, have you read the book Elon Musk? You must read a story. This is the guy who is making rockets. He is a solar power company. He's making these amazing cars. I'm forgetting the name, but they're all solar powered cars, and he's planning to take people to the moon because he says that, hey, life on Earth is going to end. So this book probably was written 4 or 5 years ago. But if you see a story, what does this guy come through? Where all he probably went bankrupt 2 3 times. Gary talks about going bankrupt 2 or 3 times, but did they give up? No. you know some people have been so passionate about what they do that it's taken a toll on their lives. I'm not saying do that, please don't do that, but how willing are you to eat this shit sandwich is something that made so much sense to me. And I'll forward the link to Vijay, the Google link, if you guys want, and he can share it with you, or you can just go Google it, right? It's amazing. So that's one thing that came up with this stuff. And another thing is that, your business has an energy too. It's an entity in its own self. And so many times we think that we are the creators of the business, we control it, we decide where it has to go. If you start to include your business, if you start to include the universe and allow the universe to contribute to you, allow the business to contribute to you. You don't go into a point of view, hey, I can do it myself. I'm the business person. Like, that's a superior point of view. What if you were willing to be the energy, the space, the consciousness, because those are the elements of generation, the energy, the space, the consciousness, and choice. What energy, space, consciousness, and choice can my body and I be, and include your body in it too, can my body and I be to receive from my business with total ease? Yeah, right? So, what if you could start to be 50-50 partnership with your business and started asking your business questions on, hey, business, where would you like to go next? What would you like to create? Who would you like to be? What do we do next? And when you start to ask your business questions, starts to give you information. And information can come in any way because it's awareness. So for me, it just comes in a form, in the form of a thought, in the form of an idea, or somebody asking me a question. Now, what is it? Which way does it come up for you? I have no clue. But if you start asking questions and start to pay attention, like paying attention is an important part. Once you've asked a question, then pay attention to what shows up. Follow that energy, right? And then take that step. Notice if you're getting uncomfortable about it. Like this example that I told you, okay, probably an idea came up that I have to call 10 people, but I don't want to. Push down your barriers. That's another tool. Push down your barriers and then go and do it. Do it. Do it if even if it makes you uncomfortable. It's fine. Being uncomfortable is not going to kill you, right? So be uncomfortable and do it anyway. So start including your business in your creation. Start asking your business questions. Destroy and uncreate your relationship with your business every day. Be willing to be partners with your business. Listen to the business talking to you. Listen to your body talking to you. Same way you can start talking to your body. Hey, body, what business would you like to be in? Right? So when you start to include, and then ask the universe to send you clients, ask the universe to show you where you can get clients. If you were willing to allow the universe to have your back, what would be different? What else could you create? Right? So this is another thing, the one of the things that I wanted to bring to you about being 50-50 with your business. And I think we've spoken, I think, a lot. And Vijay tells me that there isn't much time left now. So any other last questions, or where do we go from here, Vijay?
Yeah. Any questions, Shamshad?
Hello, this call, Shweta, is thanks to me. I wanted to know what is creation versus generation, and I have been generating business, and I didn't know till you started speaking. And can I share 2 more minutes?
Of course.
Yes.
I mean, it's up to Vijay. Whatever he says, he's the boss.
You said that we have spoken a lot, and I wanted to tell you that please continue. And it seems like we have just begun. So, without knowing this tools of creation and generation, I created a deck of cards, the world's first deck on Shirdi Sai Baba. It's a tarot card. I'm
Wow.
in the second edition. I'm left with 350 decks. And now with the
Amazing.
lockdown, I didn't know how to, courier it down. And I was just like thinking, and how am I going to do it? So I'm coming out with a book with there is a guidebook on how to use the card, the meanings of the card. So I'm coming out with a Kindle book. The cards will be there, and how do you read cards online, like with a Kindle you don't have a physical. This is when you started talking and you said about that lemon exercise, that when you planted
Yeah.
that lemon, and I said, oh, I'm in the space of generation.
Amazing.
And and I said, with Kindle I would be like, I don't know how many people, and whoever after the lockdown chooses to buy my decks, they are available. And
Amazing.
please continue speaking. I mean, I just can't even imagine that I've been in the generative space
Yeah.
till you started speaking. I did read about generation, but I didn't understand when I was reading that book. Be the magic, I think so, na? Create the
There
magic, I
is
think
a
so.
lot of
Just
access books that you can pick up and read. There's Right Riches for You, which talks about the four elements of wealth. I think some part of it also talks about creation and generation. I'm not very sure. Then there's Money's Not the Problem That You Are. Then there's the Joy of Business book by Simone Milasas that has a lot of questions on business. So there are a lot of access books that if you start to look at will give you there's a money workbook, How to Become Money workbook, that will help you clear your points of views on what does money mean to me, what sensations do I have, all of those points of views, because it's your point of view that creates your reality. So the moment you start to clear your points of views about what creation generation is also, what money is, what business is, like how Neelam started the call with, like, the first question was, okay, this. thing of whatever she was talking about. I can't sell it to people and I don't know where to get the clients. I'm sure a lot of us have the point of view. Sometimes it comes up for me also when I'm creating something new and I'm like, okay, where do I get the clients? Okay, cool. I'll just put it up here. And surprisingly, it doesn't ever show up the way you think it would. Like if you created the tarot cards, you didn't know that's the way it will show
Yes.
up. You didn't know that those cards had an energy of their own. They wanted to be on Kindle. But wow, so can you acknowledge them? Wow, my creation has an energy of itself too. And never give up, never give in, never quit.
When I
Always,
brought
always.
out that card, I thought nobody will buy them. 5-10 लोग लेंगे और मुझे सबको बर्थडे में गिफ्ट जैसे देना पड़ेगा. I didn't even know I'll come to the second edition.
So what if you can
I'm
congratulate
so
yourself
surprised.
now? Okay, are you happy about it? And are you excited? And are you
Yes.
grateful? So be grateful because gratitude is another energy that's going to expand it for you. And stop saying I didn't know, I didn't know, I didn't know. Okay. Obviously
Thank
you
you so
know.
much. Yes.
Right?
And please let us know about this 50% what you were discussing. No, be a 50-50 with your business. Please share
Yeah.
that.
It's just that you be 50. So many times we tend to think that this is the way we want to do things. That's control. Rather than, or sometimes we just give up कि अच्छा business को जो करना है करने दो जैसे चल रहा है चलने दो. Now that's you notice where you're becoming 51 and the business is becoming 49. If supposing you and your business were partners, then how would you operate? So you would do your share and your business would do its share, and you would not like climb on top of each other or compete with each other. You would contribute to each other. And if you've seen business partners fight with each other, then you see either you're trying to impose your point of view or trying to let the business impose its point of view, both of which are not 50-50. So just ask, hey, if I was being 50-50 with my business, what would I choose here? Hey, business, if we were being 50-50 with each other, what would we do? What would we create? Where would we go? And just then let it come up as it the way your cards showed up. You know how to do that.
Thank you so much.
Right? You're so welcome.
Thank you.
So I think we're at the end of this call, right? You're right. We could just barely scrape the top of the surface because this is a topic that we can go on for hours and hours. And I just got half an hour. So this is the best I could give you guys. I hope it was a contribution. Thank you for
Yeah.
asking for this call, Shamshad. And
Thank
thank you, Vijay, for inviting.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much.
And
thank you.
and Shweta is also CF and doing a lot of upcoming classes on foundation and business. Therefore, you can join those classes also.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Any questions?
So
Other 2 minutes left.
just 2 minutes. So I can say that I have a page called Showing Up As You. That's my Facebook page. And I have a daily business veggies WhatsApp group too. That both of those are free. I keep doing a lot of free tools there and I keep posting all my upcoming programs and classes. So you can just Google that and join in if that seems like a contribution to you. So anything else, guys? I think we're done, Vijay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. And you're very welcome. So I'll see you somewhere
Thank you all.
sometime soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
please, everybody sharing the recording.
Thank
Please
you.
let me
Thank
have
you
the
so much.
recording. There are people who are asking me for the recording already. So do share that with me. Thank you. Bye-bye.